Hello, welcome to Lemon's Juice, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sure, I'm Julie. Like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Last of Us, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, first, I want to get out of the way. Yes, for those who normally watch, I am not on the couch with my blankets. I am on my patio. Doing this for main thing is my apartment flooded this weekend, and therefore I have the fans on inside, those big power jet fans they got, and those are on and they have to stay on constantly, and so therefore it is very loud in there, and therefore I cannot record because that's all you would be able to hear. But two, also, this is kind of the vibe that I want, because just to give some insight, one of my favorite things to do with my friends is to sit out on the patio. It's one of my favorite spots in my apartment. It's one of my favorite spots when I go over to their houses. And, we have a couple of brewskis, and, we either talking movies, talking wrestling. Y'all know my two main passions. And then, of course, sports and whatever. And, we're just chatting it up. So this is kind of the vibe that I want. This won't be permanent, maybe not until I get a house of my own and I can guarantee quietness, or just the wind will affect us. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get into the review properly now for those who stuck around. This was the episode that everyone was afraid of. I thought they were prolonged Joel's death a little bit longer. I thought we could possibly get to episode 3, maybe episode 4. He had to die this season for sure. But to do it in episode 2, I respect it because it's still the boldness of the show. But I said this is my immediate reaction too, because I had a really weird experience. Because there's a lot of big moments I know about when going into it, like Sirius dying in Order of the Phoenix, right? Love the Harry Potter books, went into that movie knowing he was going to go, and I knew it was going to hurt. But, I never felt, that, oh man, oh no, as it was going on. And other things throughout movies and television where I just knew some moments were going to happen and I knew they were going to hurt me. This was the first one where I prolonged it because, one, I was not able to watch episode 2 live with everyone else, right? Because, I was watching the GOAT win his 17th world championship, and, that got over, sat down, put the TV on to watch this, and once I realized what we were going to do, I was like, oh no. I was like, no, don't pull your hand out, Joel. Oh my God, he pulled his hand out. Nope, don't go to that lodge, Joel. Oh my God, he pulled out they're going to the lodge. Yes, it's on fire. Jackson's on fire. Go save Jackson, Joel. No, don't go to the lodge, Joel. Oh no, it was at that point where I was like, okay. I paused it, and then I woke up this morning to finish the episode. And, then we get to it. And I don't know, it's just because of my anticipation for it, or I went through it through the game, and it just scarred me. But I just felt like this one, to me, the anticipation to it hurt more than the actual execution of it. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna hurt us. Let me see the club go into that wound. Let me see the club go into his brain. Let me see this. Let me be scarred like Ellie did. And in the final shot we did, but I don't know. I just wanted the non-gamers to hurt like I hurt. It's basically what I am trying to say. But yeah, for overall, this was another phenomenal episode. I love this adaptation. I love what we are doing, how we're making things new, how we're also doing things similar, but we're also keeping them new, kind of like how it was Jesse and Ellie who went to the 7-Eleven and not Dina and Ellie. Did like the scene between Dina and Ellie in the game because, it makes their relationship official. And, with the whole dynamics that we are going through when we move on past this point, especially when they get to Seattle. But I guess it's going to make more sense and better to swallow now that, they aren't official yet when what happens in Seattle happens. And then, it could be swallowed up more. But I'm not really sure if I'm into this whole will they, won't they type storyline when it comes to Dina and Ellie. I kind of wanted to just get to they will. But, it is what it is. But I did like Jesse and Ellie's dynamic through it. I like how this was basically level 1 throughout the video game. I also really like what we did with Abby. How, it was really conflicting because, if this was any other game, if this was any other movie, she is the hero. She is the protagonist. You understand where everything she's coming from, and you want her to get that revenge. But this isn't that. This isn't another movie or game. This is The Last of Us, and Joel's our guy. And, you know, when we got to that point, I could see a lot of people, especially non-gamers, being very conflicted. Like, man, you know, he really hurt a lot of people. And I think the conversation between Jesse and Ellie was very evident with, oh crap, what's his name? I cannot remember. Eugene. That Eugene passed and goes, oh yeah, it's a shame that Joel had to take him out. And the camera is focused on Ellie because they have the conversation, right? In this episode, they say, hey, I want to go on patrol with Joel. Well, yes, offense taken. You've been avoiding him like the plague. Okay, well, we're good now. For us, we know what that means. But I like what we did with, you know, with the non-gamer readers, gamer watchers. That, you know, they're like, whoa, what is she put on a front? Did they really talk? I wonder how that's going to be. And, you know, we'll let them go on that journey. And how, you know, they had that conversation, then we have this one, and you see it all over her face. I got the context. I'm sure you get the context if you played the game. But when that context is revealed, because now you would assume Eugene got affected, right? And Joel had to take the shot out. And Ellie knowing that there was an opportunity, and this is why she is so mad at Joel, that you know, it really affects her that, you know, Eugene's gone the way that it is, because she does feel like she could have saved him in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed everything that we did within this episode. I think they executed everything very properly. Again, making the familiar new. You know, it was Dina and Joel who went together. It wasn't Tommy and Joel. I wonder how it is going to be next week now that Dina knows the people's names, which gives justification as to why she is going with Ellie to Seattle, not just as moral support, but as her compass. No, oh, that's this person. Oh, that's that person. And then we start seeing the hunt list going on and on and on. And I do wonder how the structure is going to go. Because in the game, you get all of Ellie, then you get all of Abby. And I would assume we do this simultaneously. I'm sure I'm not saying that word right, but we get them at the exact same time, and we're going back and forth. And I wonder how that structure will be with people seeing what Abby's done to Joel. And I'm sure they have just as much of a visceral reaction as we did when we were playing the game, because it's different now, right? You had to treat the Abby character a little different for the TV show, because in a game you paid $60 to play it, and you know, it took up gigabytes and all that stuff. It took up storage space, and you weren't just going to turn it off. You were going to see it through, no matter what, no matter how abrupt and how pissed off that Joel died. In the TV show, they're paying $9.99 a month, or however much it is, for millions of shows. They could just go, well, I'm not going to continue on anymore, and shut it off. And I think they did do well enough for people to go, man, I'm really hurt, I'm really pissed off, but I gotta tune in next week. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about it. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on it. Leave a like if you made it this far within the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to go into my YouTube career. We're not gonna stop, clearly, as you can see. We'll just have a new setting for a little bit until my house does get cleaned up. Well, apartment. I don't have a house yet. Hopefully I get in a couple years. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to go into my YouTube career. We have this. We have the Raw after WrestleMania, if you're into that. We also have Andor premiering on Tuesday. We have a lot of stuff heading your way very soon. So hit that subscribe button for that. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.